Beyond the Winning Post is brought to you by our stable of sponsors.
Hi Kat, how are you?
Good, thanks Emily.
Thanks so much for having me today.
Yes, and I think you're going to come on a bike with me.
That's what I heard. That's pretty exciting.
I hear you're pretty good on a bike though.
Oh, I don't know about that. Where are we going?
We're actually going to go down the road, Lees Pakaraka. It's a route that I do often.
Okay.
About 25 k's.
Awesome.
And I'm going to have it on high speed, so you're going to have to cycle really fast.
Okay, well I better get into my stuff and then we can crack on.
Super.
Cool. Kat, tell me about your work at the Catwalk Trust.
Emily, Catwalk's been going 15 years. And when we started, it started with just a whole bunch of friends that wanted to raise some money for me. And we had a big chat about it. And I said, look, the only thing that's going to change my life is if we get these legs working again. So for the last, I guess, 13 years, I pretty much, we all gave it everything we had. And then over the last couple of years, because the team on the board is so great and the girls in the office are so fantastic, I've sort of stepped aside from all the day-to-day and running of things. So my role is very much more getting my body as fit and as healthy as I can, so that any of the research that comes to fruition we get to benefit from.
Are there any crossovers between the Catwalk Trust and the racing industry?
Oh, look, there's lots. Talking horse-wise, we've had so many people involved. We've had Ian McDonald, who kindly gave a beautiful schnitzel filly that was named by all the Catwalk supporters On Your Feet,
Awesome.
Appropriately named.
Yeah.
And so that's been a really fun one to follow, and has a beautiful filly going through the sales this year.
Yep.
Obviously everyone followed the beautiful filly that the Hickmans produced, that Brendan and Joe Lindsay purchased. But I think more than anything, everyone knows how lucky they are every day. It's an injury that can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And again, the racing industry is so generous and so supportive that they get behind what we do.
Yeah.
And we hope that what's happened to me doesn't happen to anybody else, but as we know, it's a high-risk sport.
Yeah.
So what I'd love to see is that a broken neck or a broken back ends up being like a broken arm.
Yeah.
Some time off, give it time for healing, and it comes right, but we're a little way away from that yet.
Yeah. What accomplishments are you most proud of?
I think more than anything, the traction that Catwalk has had through everyone that supports Catwalk in New Zealand, but also worldwide. It's about supporting the absolute best research that we can get our hands on. And this year alone, we're supporting a fantastic research group in Australia that the actual research itself may be the thing that gets a lot of people walking again.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of hope, a little bit like a racehorse.
Yeah.
We always hope they're going to be winners, but if you're not in, you can't win.
Yeah.
And I think with Catwalk, we're giving it every opportunity we can.
And for you personally?
We've had some pretty special adventures.
Yeah.
And I think this bike was given to me by a beautiful girlfriend, given to me by ACC, but it was her idea. And we've had adventures to Everest Base Camp, all through New Zealand, and more recently France. But it's something I guess we've been incredibly lucky to do, because we've had the bike, I guess, different form of horsepower, but still a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a trip to Mongolia this year planned, and actually we had a few great people in the industry coming with us, including Mark and Sarah Chitty and Jim Barlow, another great supporter of the game. We still hope to do that, but we just need to get those COVID restrictions sorted. But the ultimate goal is obviously to dance again with Sam on my feet, and that goal never changes.
Should we race home?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Kat, Tell me a little bit about your role here at Little Avondale Stud.
Well, I always joke and say that I'm kind of the handbag, I'm the accessory around here. So we can be a jack of all trades. I do love food. I always tell people I get out of bed to eat. So I love entertaining, I love cooking for people. And probably the marketing is the other thing that I have a little dab hand at. We've got a great team of people that obviously manage the horses, and Kirsty in the office, and Sam and I always say we can't do what we do without our team.
How did you first become involved in the racing industry?
Emily, it probably started by Sam proposing to me, and yes, I dutifully accepted, and we've been doing what we've been doing since then. That's nearly 20 years. And I have to admit, when I first got into racing, I used to think that when I heard that noise on the TV, it was a little bit like the Coronation Street noise, I'd turn it off. But I am the first person now on a Saturday to turn the TV on, to find out exactly what's going on, which horses are running. So I'm a convert, and I always say if you can convert someone like me, who is a show jumping sport horse purist, then you can probably convert anyone. But more than anything, you look at a sport like racing, anyone can be involved. It doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter what sex you are, and it doesn't matter whether you're in a wheelchair. You can still have the fun of racing right up until, you head up there. So I think it's the one sport that is actually open to anybody and everybody, and there is fun to be had by anyone, whether you have money or don't have money, because even owning the toenail of a horse can give you so much fun. When I first came out of hospital, it was literally, I was driving home with Sam. I'd had 4 months in Burwood. This is 18 years ago. And he said, right, I'm going to get you into a racehorse. And you have to understand that at that stage, all I'd ever known was show jumping and eventing. When I fell off and broke my neck, Sam and I'd only been married just over 7-8 months. So it certainly wasn't the path that I'd planned. And the first thought I had is, oh my God, this is the fastest way to lose friends that I've ever heard of. Fortunately, it was a lovely mare called Aloha, and she went on and won a Group 3 at Hastings. And I still remember that day very clearly. I actually think I just about got out of my chair and started dancing. But she's been an absolutely wonderful mare. We had wonderful people involved. And interestingly, a couple of them have come back in this year on a new horse.
What comparisons can you draw between the equestrian world and horse racing?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the dedication that people put into looking after their horses. As you know, with anything that is looked after well, they're going to do things for you. Horses don't do what they do out of fear, they do it because they love you. So if you have a relationship with a horse, you can pretty much get anything out of it. I mean, Mark Todd in our world shows that. But it's the same with racing. The way they're looked after and the way they're presented and the way they run, that's what they're bred to do. And I think we're incredibly lucky that New Zealand and Australia and around the world are full of horsemen, and that's what gets the best out of horses, and I think that's the parallel between the two.